What's going on guys, Chris here, going over Doom's super powerful super shotgun in today's video. It's a weapon that was around back in the old days of the original Doom games, and it makes its triumphant return here, being the go-to weapon for blasting close range targets into meat chunks, and painting the walls red with their blood. The super shotgun is a double-barreled shotgun that fires both barrels at the same time, shooting a wide spread of lethal buckshot towards your targets. Because you're essentially firing two barrels at once, this means that you'll be able to dish out a hell of a lot more damage. Though it also means that you're going to need to be patient in between each blast, as you'll have to slot in another 2 shells after every shot before you can fire the gun off again. The weapon mod for the super shotgun allows it to construct the variable choke system retrofit into each barrel for a slightly tighter spread. And this is going to be a tad more useful for engaging those hostile players beyond close range, as the weapon mod will help narrow down the spread of the buckshot, closing in the crosshairs a bit, letting you land a few more pellets from each shell onto your opponent, thus resulting in a higher damage output. You'll be able to carry a maximum of 24 shells around with you at any given time, though you'll only spawn into the match with 16. And because you'll be using 2 shells for each pull of the trigger, this ammo count might depreciate a little quicker than you might expect, making those ammunition boxes all the more convenient. Now, unlike the combat shotgun that fires a single shell at a time, the super shotty can't fire its shells off independently, as it has to fire both off per blast. This lets you deal a much higher damage with a direct hit at close range reaching the maximum of 80. This kind of damage output can be really punishing, and quickly send a smug player with a full bar of health and armour into panic, as each blast has the potential of wiping out the majority of HP. And the shotgun is fully capable of killing most of your opponents in 1 or 2 direct shots. Beyond CQC, it's going to deal far less damage per shot, with the spread of the pellets being so wide. In most battles with another player, it can be quite rare to reach figures of those high values of 80, unless you're literally at point blank range, as the buckshot spread is really wide, and more often than not, a lot of the pellets from each shell won't hit your target, with the super shotgun being a very inaccurate weapon beyond close quarters. The spread is much wider than the combat shotgun, meaning it's not going to perform as well against enemies slightly further away. And for this reason, you should always rush to your opponents and try to get as close by before opening fire, reserving its use for when another player is right up in your face. Because of the close range damage nature of the weapon, you'll often get the chance to pull off glory kills and finish people off with melee attacks too. This can sometimes be a quick way to kill the other player if you're reloading the shotgun and they only need a bit more damage to be killed. Another thing to point out about the gun is the fact that you'll be more vulnerable when using it in between each shot, as there's a slight reload time after every pull of the trigger. And although it's not very long, it's still going to leave you temporarily out of action. And in a game that's as fast paced as Doom, this can lead to some sticky situations. You're going to have to time your shots at the right moment instead of blasting away like a trigger happy lunatic. And make sure that your target is 1 within the gun's ideal range and 2 inside the oval shaped reticle. It might sound obvious, but it's crucial for landing those high damage hits and taking enemies out effectively. Those reload periods, high damage output and lack of range makes the super shotgun a risk reward kind of weapon, and if you miss too many of your shots, you're going to be left faffing around reloading shells and get taken out by the other guy. The weapon mod might make killing some of your targets a little bit easier. Although it doesn't directly alter damage like it might appear at times, it zooms the crosshairs in a bit and helps to concentrate your pellets in a slightly narrower spread pattern, gripping the buckshot closer together, resulting in a bit of an increase in accuracy, and this means that more of your pellets could hit a target a tad further away. Although using the weapon mod as much as you can sounds like a no-brainer, it's actually better suited for specific ranges and situations, and can often be less accurate in some scenarios. Unless your target is beyond those closer ranges, try to avoid the temptation of zooming in with the weapon mod, as most of the time you're only going to deal a very similar kind of damage to hipfire in the gun. Using the weapon mod causes your movement speed to slow down, making you a slower, easier target to hit, and making it harder to strafe around to get your crosshairs to line up with the other player. Hipfiring in CQC is usually much more effective and reliable. You're more mobile for avoiding your opponent's shots, and can usually land more pellets by strafing around, aiming with your movements. The weapon mod is useful though when a target is just out of close range, as you should be able to land a few more pellets onto them, which could be the difference between killing an escaping enemy or letting them get away. Though the difference between hipfire and the weapon mod isn't hugely noticeable, though it does slightly tighten that spread, but not by a lot. It still renders the super shotgun useless at long range, though it just might help you out a little bit more at those medium distances, if your target is beyond the shotgun's optimal range. Though in CQC, most of the time you'll be better off without it. Anyway, because the Super Shotgun is a close range only gun, other weapons that are better over longer distances could make a good pick, letting you cover all ranges and deal with any situation. Combining the shotgun with the Vortex rifle gives you a very powerful class that allows you to destroy targets at all distances, with the expense of being a more challenging weapon set to master. Though using other weapons like the heavy assault rifle, burst rifle and lightning gun are all good options for switching to both finish off enemies damaged by the shotgun and killing opponents past close range. If you've already seen my combat shotgun guide, you'll also hear me mention that using the combat shotgun with the Super Shotty is also a great loadout, as you can blast away targets alternating between the two weapons after every shot, which sorta counters the reload, allowing you to lay waste in CQC and ultimately destroy most players really quickly. This can be combined with the personal teleporter too, to help you travel up close to enemies easier and blow them into pieces as soon as you reach them. So the Super Shotgun is a serious force to be reckoned with and can devastate most other players in CQC. However, it's only effective up close and deals less damage the further away your target is. It's often best to have the gun as a secondary option to switch over to when someone's very close by, and so long as you're within a short range and your aim is on point, you can wipe away masses of health fast. It might not be the most reliable weapon of the lot, but it definitely packs one of the biggest punches. So that just about wraps this one up. Hope you enjoyed the video, thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to see loads more Doom guns in more detail, and loads of other stuff too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.